guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make this super cute reversible drawstring bag. You can use it to hold your dice, your game tokens, your makeup, whatever you want. And it's super cute. I think it's the perfect size, but you can change it to whatever size you want. And if you don't like that seam right there, you can hand stitch it and make it look all pretty, and then it is completely reversible. Or you could just make that the inside. So this is a really versatile and fun DIY, so let's get right into it. Let's talk materials. So you're going to need a cutting mat, you're going to need a rotary cutter or scissors to cut fabric with, you're going to need a safety pin, you're going to need pins or needles, and you're going to need some ties. You can use shoelaces, bits of like elastic, you could use pretty much anything. I'm using these two 24-inch cuts of this kind of like webbing material. It's just a little tiny itsy bitsy bit stretchy. And you're also going to need a quilting ruler. You're going to need something to mark with, even though I didn't include it. You're going to need 2 colors of quilting cotton, or the same fabric if you like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so now you're going to cut your fabric out, and you're going to cut your fabric 9 by 9 inches. I'm just kind of cutting it here because it's folded in half. Oh, and there's my head. Yeah, that's always lovely when it focuses on my head and not my fabric. I should definitely probably move my tripod, but who has time for that? Yeah, no. So this is what we get. I'm so sorry. I might be able to cut this out. Probably not though. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing for the lining. Cut 2 pieces. Once you have those pieces cut, you're going to cut another piece that is 3 by 9.5 inches, and I'm just doing the same thing since I folded it in half. And you can use a scrap for this. I'm using my lining fabric color, but you could use whatever you want. I'm just measuring it out and cutting it. I think my tripod tipped a little for this step, but basically what you're going to do is put your 2 outside pieces right sides together, very nice and lined up, and then you're going to sew 3 of the sides, leaving one of them completely open. And then you're going to bring it back to the table. Once we're back at the table, we are going to flip this and box the corners. So sorry, we're not going to flip it. We're going to kind of open it up a little bit, and you can see it's already kind of starting to look like a bag. But basically what you're going to do is kind of flatten the corners out to where it's like a triangle. And you're going to try to get that as flat as you can, and you're going to open your seams up on both sides. This is a little bit tricky to do, but I believe in you. You should be able to do this just fine. And just try to kind of open everything up and get it lying flat on your table. That is going to make it easier for you to mark. Alright, you're going to bring out your quilting ruler and measure 2 inches from the edge of your seam. I actually find it easier to do it the other way. I don't know why I was doing it this way, but you'll see in a second. And you're just going to mark a line going all the way down and put a pin in it. You're going to sew down that line with your sewing machine, and then you're going to do the same thing with the other bottom corner. Ignore the top 2 corners near the open flap. Once you have that sewn, you can trim off your corners at about 1/4 inch. And look, it's already a bag. Almost. But yeah, just snip it off about 1/4 inch, and you can use that as pillow filling or, anything else. Or you could just throw it away too. This will give it a nice boxed look, and this will make it stand up all by itself. Alrighty, so once you get that done, you can kind of turn it right side out and see how it looks. You can point out those corners using your fingers or a chopstick, and you can kind of pluck the threads off if you want to, and then you're just going to put it back inside out and fold it off to the side. Oh, and I wanted to say you need to press out your side seams, and I find to do that really easily. I use this little pillow thingy, and it's originally for making sleeves and garments and stuff, but it works really well for that. And if you don't have that, that's alright. You're going to sew down your 3 sides as normal and box out your corners. Alright, once you get both of those done, you can kind of check to see how they're looking and then put them to the side. We do not need them right now. You're going to bring back those 2 skinny little rectangles that we cut out. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to fold back the edges twice on them both to create a nice rolled hem, and then you're going to sew down it right towards the end. I find it useful to press this piece down, but if you don't want to, you don't necessarily have to. And you're going to do that with both of your skinny rectangles. Alright, and I just kind of folded them over and pressed them as well. I also forgot to tell you, you needed to leave a gap in the bottom of your little blue lining piece. I am so sorry, I forgot that too, and I had to seam rip out a hole and re-stitch over it. So yeah, I kind of folded that in half, and I pressed it down as well, but as you can see, they're both stitched and looking real nice. So we can set those aside again, and we're going to bring back our 2 pieces from earlier, and you're going to kind of open them up, and you're going to stick your lining right sides together inside of your outer shell. So you're going to flip your lining right sides out, and you're going to kind of poke out those corners some, kind of shake it a little bit, and then you're going to stuff it inside of your outer shell. And you're going to match up all those side seams, and you're going to pin them in place. Okay, so now comes the tricky part. I'm getting my pins right next to me for this. So I've pinned the 2 side seams together, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the little pieces that I pressed in the seam. And it's going to be a little bit complicated. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to move that pin up real quick. But basically you're going to open the tube, and you're going to stick it in folded side down, and you want to leave a little bit on top just so that you know that you're actually sewing through. And then you're going to stick it all together like a big sandwich and pin it. And don't be shy with your pins. The more the merrier. It's going to help you a lot. And then you're just going to sew around the perimeter. Make sure you add the other one to the other side of the seam. It's going to take you a second to pin it, so be very careful and patient. Added my other piece and then sewn all the way around the outside. That is very important, and make sure you catch all of it. So I'm popping out my lining now, and you know that handy little hole in the bottom of the lining that I almost forgot to tell you guys about? Yeah, that was very important, because now we're going to flip it right side out through that tiny little hole. And yeah, the hole's a little bit small, but it makes it easier to sew later on. So So you're just gonna kind of have to wiggle it a little bit, and wiggling sucks, but it has to be done. So try not to break your seam. You should have backstitched on either side of the whole opening so that none of your stitches pop through. And wiggle it all through until you get your whole piece through. Once you have your whole piece through, shake it. Shake it like no other. And then pop the corners out with a chopstick or a pencil or your fingernail, whatever you got, whatever you want to use. And once you pop that out, you can kind of push your lining into your bag to see if it fits well and if there's any spots that need like a little bit more sewing on them. You should probably do that now before you close your hole. Because if you close your hole, then you're going to have to open it again and fix that. Nobody wants to redo what they've already done. Once you've checked that the lining fits, take it back out and you're going to sew up that opening. You can hand sew it or use your machine like I did. Once you have that sewn, you can work on your drawstrings. So you're going to take your drawstring and put a safety pin through it and start pushing it through one of your sides until you get it through one panel. And then once you get it through that one panel, you're going to push it through the other as well. And once you pushed it through the other, you can tie a knot right at the edge of your two strings. And then you're going to do the same thing, but the other direction. Have one side done, you can kind of shimmy it a little bit to make it all even, and then you're going to do the same thing but the opposite direction. So you're going to go in where that loops, and that'll be your end for that side, so that you'll have two pulleys on either side. And you're going to go through one panel even though the other string is in. It's a little bit harder to do it this way, but you can still do it pretty easily. So once you get this bit through, you can do the other panel as well. And you did it! Once you tied that second knot, your drawstring pouch is done. You can cinch it closed, you can open it up, you can reverse it if you would like. And it's just a super fun pouch. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, but don't go yet because it's kitten time! Jack's update. It looks like we have a kitten curl. Mittens, you are suffocating it. Buddy, if you need some more air, feel free to get up. Oh, Jax, what a lovely sleeping position. It looks like you're being suffocated as well. Goodness gracious, the Swiffer duster suffocates all. Mittens, is your eye looking better? Just a little bit. Oh, uh-oh. You can't be caught on camera loving each other. That's illegal.
I know.
Oh, you're so cute. Oh, yes, you are. What the heck are you doing, Mittens? Are you sniffing him? You already know what he smells like. Oh, yep, just lay down right on his face. Hello, babies. You're so cute. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye.